So we've been talking about the controversial all-white acting nominees for this year's Oscars. Well, actress Stacey Dash has added to the controversy on the subject. Speaking out on Fox and Friends, she said, quote, "Either we want to have segregation or integration, and if we don't want segregation, then we need to get rid of channels like BET and the BET Awards and the Image Awards, where you're only awarded if you're black," end quote. And she went on to say, quote, "There shouldn't be a Black History Month where Americans, period," end quote. Lonnie, do you think Stacey has a point?
Okay, first of all, I want to give it up to BET because they gave the ultimate clap back
How
to
about
her.
that?
Show this on Instagram where they put a picture of her when she was on the game, and they basically said, can we get our check back? Nah.
I mean,
You were on the game, and we're not talking about the rapper, the show. So I have to give it up to BET. And this is the thing about this whole conversation. There's a reason why we have a BET, a Telemundo, a Lifetime, a logo. There is a reason, because it's to help emphasize where major networks don't emphasize. And that's the reason for it. I mean, there's no difference. So for her to sit back and say, well, we don't need it, she benefited from it as well. I mean, you have never seen her on Vogue. You've never seen her
but
on
I've seen her on Black
Cosmopolitan,
Men magazine.
but you've seen her on King magazine. You've seen her on Heart and Soul, which are all so-called black magazines. So for her to say it, she's being a little hypocritical, you know.
I have to give it to, obviously, networks like BET. I think the fact that, you know, if you, at any point, like we're talking about now, they're saying the Oscars, you know, maybe doesn't show that much love to minorities. And I think when you find yourself in a situation like that, you've got to applaud something like BET Network that says, well, we're going to pave our own way. We're going to find our own lane. We're going to do something for our own people. If we don't feel like we're being acknowledged in this area, then let's do it for ourselves. Don't wait for somebody to clap for you. Clap for yourself.
And the Image Awards, they put on, they give it to everybody.
I'd also like to say I am not black. I mean, maybe a little bit in here. But I am Latina, and I've hosted the red carpet for the BET Awards. I've hosted on 106 in Park. Justin Timberlake has won BET Awards.
I mean, I can't keep my mouth shut no more. You know, I mean, I have to agree with you, Lonnie and Adrian. I have to give it up to BET because for singers who don't sing pop music.
Yes.
Oh.
Wow, how else would you see us?
It's not a
Where
race
else would you
issue.
hear our music?
It's a
Where else
genre.
would you see our music videos?
Right.
That's why we shot a video to be on 106 in Park. Won't he do it? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
I mean, let's not all forget, you know?
Well, and this is the reality of the situation. It would be nice for mankind to see us all as one.
Yes.
But the reality is that, I mean, racism still exists, segregation still exists, and these networks like BET and, you know, Telemundo, they don't cause segregation, they celebrate the diversity of America.
That's it.
We're able to watch these shows on these networks and relate. It's about relatability, not about segregation.
But if you guys really think about it, this is going to be weird to say, but as many people that win awards at the BET Awards that are white are about as many people that have won Oscars that are black.
Yeah, so it's the same.
Do you get what I'm saying? I know that sounds weird to say it that way, but you've got Justin Timberlake, Adele, Iggy Azalea.
But honestly, you guys, what's wrong with celebrating that?
That's
That's the issue.
That's why I'm saying you have to acknowledge them, and also because if it weren't
to celebrate it,
if it weren't to acknowledge all of the minority talent out there, I wouldn't have an icon to emulate.
How about that?
As a little minority girl when I was growing up, I need to see minority talent out there in order to believe I can be that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%.
You have to have that.
And I also say this. There's nothing wrong with celebrating your culture. Even if you are white, you're from somewhere. You're from Germany. You're from
Ireland.
Germany, Ireland. You're from England.
French.
Nothing is wrong with celebrating your culture. So all this stuff about, you know, we're all Americans. Yes, we are. But we're not all treated the same. And that is the underlining issue with all of this right now. And so you have these different little niche programming places to, you know, to actually show. I wouldn't know.
People.
Let me tell you, I don't have any Asian friends. I had one Asian boyfriend. This is my Asian friend now.
That's hilarious.
Seriously. And I have learned more about the Asian culture on this show because of her.
Yeah.
Because we decided, you know, when we do this show, let's put a show with all women of color.
How about that?
So it shows you that you don't have the same black women. We all don't act the same as black women. Because when you only have one black, then, you know, you think, okay, yeah, this is stereotypical. They all act the same. There's 3 different type of black women. You know, we have an Asian, and she gives us part of her culture. We have a Latina who just lost it with another Latina.
That's true.
This is the beauty of having a program like this. And for y'all that want to talk about Fox, we're on Fox.
Won't he do it?
Yeah.
So don't act like...
Fox doesn't show love.
Yeah.
And we're also on BET.
Won't he do that?
So that's what he will do.
Yeah.
Oh, I can talk all day about this.
I know. It makes me so angry because I don't get it. Go ahead, Tam.
I love what you said. We are all Americans, but what makes us beautiful as a country is the fact that we are a melting pot.
Yes.
I love the fact that we have different cultures here and that we can be open about it and talk about it. I love to educate myself about the Latina culture, the Asian, culture. I'm married to a white man and I learned white culture. There is such a thing. And I love being...
And you have white.
And I have
My
white.
dad is white. Yeah, your dad is white.
I love being able to talk about that, to celebrate it, and why not award it sometime?
How about that?
Exactly.
You know what the thing is that you do have people out there that think like her, and it's good for us to talk about this. That's why a lot of people say, "Oh, just ignore it." No, we
it
need
feels
to talk
like
about
self-hate, though, which is
because
even weirder.
It's underlining. It's
weird.
It might be hypocritical or it may be
Self-hatred.
some type of self-hatred,
something.
but we need to talk about and keep discussing this because we're not going nowhere. Is anybody in the audience going back to their native land? Anybody?
Vacation? Absolutely.
At the end of the day, celebrate your culture.
Yeah.
Put it out there on blast when your people do good and let the melting pot shine. That's what America's about.
How about
That
that?
is all America.
I'll take that, Gina.
I will.